I am now doing something that I rarely do these days, which is to be on a public server, because there's certain things I need here that I cannot get on my private server. We'll get to that in a minute. First of all, let's look at how we craft these 3 chems that are extremely useful. First of all, let's look at the recipes. We have, under healing, this is where you'll find them. I have all the disease cures, I think I have all the healing salves, and of course, RadShield. But the one you really want is the forest version of the first 2. That's because these ingredients are very easy to get. The others are harder and harder and harder to get. So disease cure, to make this one using the forest reagents, you need boiled water, 2 blood leaf, 2 fire cap, 2 snaptail reeds. We'll get into where to find those. Healing salves, you need boiled water, blood leaf, soot flower, just 1 of each. For RadShield, we're going to need antiseptic, plastic, purified water, and strangler bloom. Okay, so this one, let's do this one first because I'm located in the ideal spot to make this. In fact, this is why I built here in the first place, because I was wanting to make RadShields, and I had, my camp in the wrong place for that, and I had to come up here to see if I could harvest the proper resource to make the damn things. So, where are we? We are at Dire Chemical. There is a quest chain, one of the main quest chains that sends you over to this area, and it sends you to like Ella Ames's bunker and Abby's bunker, and you basically learn how to make RadShield by dumping a bunch of chems from Dire Chemical into this water right here. So as a result, when someone does this quest, it dumps the chemicals in this water area right here, and then you can harvest. So we're really looking from about here to about here. I think there might be 1 more or 2 more down here, but they're just not worth getting. So what you're going to want to be in a harvest build. I'm going to just do my own little team here. And I want to make sure I have green thumb equipped. So that should be, where are you? There you are, green thumb. So with that equipped, we're going to start from across the river here at Dire Chemical. Right there. You don't have to have a camp here, but I do. And you're going to want to look for these little blooms. See this? This one is not stuck to anything because I've built up right here, and that sort of cancels the visual for the plant that this is attached to. But you can see it's called Strangler Bloom. It has to say bloom, not pod. Very important. So we're going to grab that. We're going to grab this one. And of course, I'm at night, which makes this even easier because these glow, and they partially glow because I'm using the plant ESP mod. Let's look at what the wrong one looks like. Like if you're on a private server, they're all going to look like this. And these are okay. You can still make things with it, but not the thing that we want to make. You can't make RadShield chems with that. So we're going to continue south here along the water. There's sometimes a couple ghouls right here. Strangler bloom right there. We're just going to harvest everything we see on the way down. Nothing there. This is a pod. We can't use that. You need the one that looks like a flower. There's anything right here. There's sometimes, and you don't know which ones are going to bloom. Sometimes it's, sometimes that one blooms. Sometimes the one there blooms. It's just, you basically have to come up to about here where these gulpers are, and then you're done. You don't go any farther north because the outlet for the chemicals is right in this area. So up there, and since the water travels south, there's no use going past this point. There's nothing up there. I've looked many times. So this is a pod. We can also go south because sometimes they're on the other side of the tree as you were coming this direction. So nothing here. These are all pods, or these are ones I've already harvested. So I think we're all done. I think we've gotten all the Strangler blooms that I can get. So now we make sure that we're in our crafting build. Specifically, you want Chemist to be equipped, and you want Super Duper to be equipped. Those are the 2 most important things you can have equipped right now when we're making these chems. The Chemist card will change the entry from just making a RadShield into making the X2. See the X2s there? That's because I have the chemist card equipped. So now I'm going to make 20 RadShields using antiseptic, plastic, purified water, and strangler bloom. Let's see how many procs we get. Because this guy had none on him before. He now has 21 RadShields. Very limited amount of procs there. Now, I normally put those on 8, but you can put those anywhere you want. So there we go, RadShield. Now, why would we want to use RadShield when we have perfectly good RadXs, right? Because they serve the same function. If we go here and inspect, it says, give me 200 rad resist for 10 minutes, and it increases my thirst a little bit. That's great. No problem. It lasts 10 minutes, right? RadX diluted, 100 rad resist for 10 minutes, increases thirst. 10 minutes, we're good. And if we go to RadShield, we see it's rad resist for 15 minutes. So it's 5 minutes longer. They all increase thirst, all chems do, or most chems do. But the real big difference between these, besides the fact that this is only 200 rad resist, this is 100 rad resist, there's two major differences. One, RadShield can be stacked. So you could take 5 of these and get 1,500 rad resist for 15 minutes. That's one nice thing. Now, it's not going to protect you in a nuke zone. You would have to have 10,000 rad resist in a nuke zone, and it's still not going to help you. You either need a stealth suit or you need power armor for a rad zone. It's just, there's no ways about it. RadShield might carry you over if you find yourself there in emergency. You could spam a bunch of those and run out really quickly if you're near the edge. But I've tried it from further in a rad zone, and it's just death. It just doesn't work. Now, the other difference between these is, if I take a RadX, I'm mutated, right? So if I look at my mutations, see, I have all these lovely mutations that I want and that I need. If I take a RadX, my mutations are temporarily suppressed. So that makes RadX bad if you want your mutations. Now, if you want to temporarily suspend them, like if you're doing ballistics testing or some weird sort of A/B testing of something, you can use a RadX to get rid of all your, well, it doesn't get rid of your mutations, it just suspends them temporarily. Okay, so now I'm screwed for 10 minutes, right? It's like, oh shit, what am I going to do for 10 minutes? Well, I can undo that effect by just taking a RadX diluted. And now my effects are back. Neat little toggle back and forth. So if you did need to test, some weapon thing without adrenal reaction and all these other effects, you could go back and forth just by bouncing between these two chems. Now, RadShield does none of that. Not only does it give you a lot more resistance, right? See 300 rad resist, but it does not suspend your mutations. Let me take a couple more. 1, 2. Now I have 300 rad resist there, but if I look at my status, you can see my rad resist is off the charts, right? Because I have, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is just my native rad resistance plus 900. So I must have had 312 rad resist. That's a lot of rad resist. Outside of power armor, that's an insane amount. Remember, power armor has a 90% reduction from the very beginning on any incoming rad damage. So if you're taking 10,000 rad damage, it knocks that down to 1,000 or whatever. And then, I mean, it's not that high. It's never that high. But then any rad resistance you have on top of that reduces any incoming rad damage that is now still on the combat table. Heady math stuff. Okay, so that's the first thing. RadShield, very, very good when you are in a non-power armor build. It's still useful in power armor if you just want to keep lowering that negative tick that you get. It's like when you're in a nuke zone, you can still get like tick, 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 tick of rad coming in. You can lower that a little bit by stacking up more rad shields. Not really that necessary if you are a full health build and you just use a RadAway, or if you are low health build and you just want to pop a couple Brahmin milk real quick, it still works either way. Now, the other things we want to build, let's look at this recipe again. These are the things we're going to have to go harvest because we normally, if you've been playing for a while and you have Fallout First, it's very likely, healing, here we go. It's very likely that you have a nice supply of antiseptic and plastic in your scrap box. And you probably have a stack of purified water, 20, 30, 40, or whatever. So those are really the only thing you have to worry about there is going and finding those strangler blooms. Let's go ahead and grab some purified water here just to get back up. There we go. 21 is fine for now. So now what do we need? We need to find a couple things. We're going to make forest disease cures. So we have to find bloodleaf, firecap, and snaptail reed. We're also going to make healing salve forest recipe. So we have to find more bloodleaf and now soot flowers. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, there's a really easy shortcut for finding most of these. We're just going to travel. First of all, since I'm cheap, I'm going to go to Fallout 76. And I'm sorry that I'm dropping frames. I can't do anything about that right now. I looked over and I'm dropping 5% of my frames. It is what it is. Okay, and now we're going to go down to the Wayward. Remember, we're looking for, let me pull up my little list here because I built a list out of it. We are looking for bloodleaf, firecap, and snaptail reed, and then soot flowers. So those 4 things. So we're going to run over here, and starting at the Wayward, we can see right away we already have bloodleaf. So we're going to go to our harvesting build, making sure that we have green thumb equipped, and we're going to grab bloodleaf, then jump across the river, bloodleaf. We're going to try to get about 50 of these probably, maybe 60. Just going to harvest everything we find along the way as we travel south towards Wayward. You can grab the glowing fungus if you want to make other things, but we're not doing that right now because we don't really need it. Basically, just grab all the bloodleaf you find as you head south. I'm going to kill these dogs. Again, do this at night and do it with the glowing mod installed. Now here's our first snaptail reeds. They're blue with this mod and then they glow very nicely. So we're just going to grab all these. And are these the ones I want? Yes. So you're also looking for these blue flowers. They're blue using the mod. They glow blue. So any little blue glowing flowers, you're going to want to grab these too. These are for the healing salve. I mean, the blood leaves are for both. So we're going to be able to make some disease cures and the healing salves. So snaptail reeds. Basically just grab anything you find. Just running in the water here. See blue flowers? Just run over and grab some blue flowers. Again, nighttime makes this so much nicer. So what you can do is you can server hop until you get to a nighttime. Because every server has its own separate day-night cycle as far as the timing goes. Just, yeah, there's blue flowers all over the place here. Snaptail reeds, blue flowers. I don't remember what color they are without this mod, and they certainly don't glow this visibly. So they can be a pain in the butt to find if you're in the daylight and you don't have this mod to make them fluoresce like this.
About time to eat.
Oop. We're just continuing to go down. That's what she said. I'm probably not even going to use all these. I'm just harvesting because it's fun. It's fun to see them disappear. Now, there is combat over here, so these robots are hostile. So they don't hurt that much if you're in good gear, but it's just something of which you should be aware. We're just going to keep going here. Grab some blue flowers. It's a pretty easy farm. It's one of the reasons why I love the forest recipes, because you can get to this stuff really easily. And we're just going to continue to the west here through this dry riverbed that doesn't really have anything in it anymore. And there's some soot flowers up there if you need them. Man, I'm going to have a lot of bloodleaf. Hate mole rats. And you basically just, I'm not going to keep harvesting, but you basically just continue along this line. You can see there's blue flowers, there's more snaptails. Just continue on in this dried up creek bed / riverbed until you get to the river here. And then you could head north. There's more to the north. It's basically just wherever there's water is where you're going to find the snaptails and the bloodleaf, sorry. Go away. And there's a river here, or a creek, that has an outlet there that I usually go up. You can continue on up the entire river until you get to right around the Deathclaw Island or so. And then I think that's where I usually start if I'm going from the north, is I'll travel to Deathclaw Island and then I'll go south. I usually come up in here and I'll find the more soot flowers like across the countryside. Now, the trick is, if you run out of a certain ingredient, how do you find more? Well, there's a map. And I'm going to show you this. This is, let's just go right to the basic map. This is map76.com, right? Really great site. And what you want to do is, let's say you want to find more soot flower, right? You could go here, but that's very few items. I want these or these, right? You can see where these all are all being marked. There's tons of soot flowers right along here. I basically traveled south. Yeah, I came this way, then I went this way. You could also look at these other items to see if they are the ones you want, but it's probably just these. So you can see, based on this, there's a ton of soot flowers all over this area. So you could even go to 76 and just sort of scour around this area. Now, the other thing we want is fire cap. So if we just type fire cap, And we'll look at this one. Nope, that's a special item. Okay, here's fire caps all around 76 and to the west. Also all around this area. I like this area because it's sort of open. So let's go there. Let's go back to the Wayward, and then we'll head north. You could, in theory, just start north of the Wayward. Like you could have started up here and then headed south and then gone down this whole river. But what we're looking for is a little knobby thing that's attached to logs. And using this this mod, they should be red. So we'll just sort of head north here. Hopefully we'll find some soon. Here's some more blue flowers. Hey, there's one. I guess it's orange, soot flower. Fire cap. These would be the starlight creepers, which we use to make other things, including meat recipes and berry mentats, which we're not doing in this video. You can see they're all over the place when you turn this mod on. I'm gonna grab some wood when I'm here. You just follow the river north here. I don't normally make, as a matter of course, which is why I didn't start this far north. I guess I could have. But I can't stress enough that you want to do this at night. Absolutely at night. Here's bomb berries, which or firecracker berries, which are also useful in making berry mentats. Lots of starlight creeper in this area. We're just running around looking for those little fire caps. According to the map76.com, they should be all over this area, and they are, thankfully. So really, if you ever need to find anything, I don't know if that map is absolutely current. Like, I don't know if it's been updated for the skyline stuff at the bottom of the map that they added a couple patches ago. But it's worth checking out for at least most of this stuff. More snaptails here. And again, you don't necessarily have to farm in this specific spot. Like if you like a different spot better, like let's go to 76. And there should be stuff all through the area to the west of 76, like along the hillsides. It's a very hilly area, so I tend to not go there first, but we'll go there just to see it. We should also see some soot flowers over here. And again, we're looking for those orangish red nodules attached to logs. Assuming they're still in this area. Let's look over this way. Yes, there's soot flowers all over the place. Hey, I see one. You can see why I sort of prefer the other place first. Because it's harder to see on the hilly terrain because there's more like little pockets and valleys and things like that. That's copper. I don't want that. Plus, they all seem to be spread out a bit more. But if you're coming to get starlight creeper anyway, there's a lot over here. So it does make sense to come and get some fire cap on your way. Someone's chopping wood. Some settler. But you sort of get the idea. Fire caps all over the place in the forest. Well, not all over the place. Generally to the west of 76 in that one valley. You will find some scattered here and there in other places, but it's not as common. There should be some logs down here with them. Oh, that's a new thing. I don't remember that. That must be like, oh yeah, this is the blood eagle thing that they added a while back. It's funny seeing the new things added to old zones. I'm like, I don't remember that. But yeah, they're down here. You just have to hunt for them more. There's one. So if you're desperate for more fire cap, you can extend your search all the way to there. So now that we have all those, let's go back to water chill. And we're going to create disease cures, but mostly healing salve. Now, why would we want healing salve? It sort of raises that question, not begs the question, that's different. It raises the question, why would we want healing salve? Well, I'll show you why. Let's make some first. Let's go to our crafting build. So we have chemist and we have super duper. And let's see if we have enough boiled water. Here, I'll turn that off. Okay, so forest, I have bloodleaf, I have firecap, I have snaptail reed. I need boiling water, or boiled water. And here I have bloodleaf and soot flower. So, of course, the way you get boiled water, the easy way, of course, is to have this device, the water boiler, or you just collect it from rivers, hitting R over and over again as fast as you can. I have a macro set up on my mouse to do that. So let's see how many we got here. You can boil water either at the grilling station or the cooking station, or you can do it at the crafting or the chemistry bench. So we'll just make a bunch of those. And now if we get back out of there, we go to healing and say, what can I make? Disease cures. So let's make one of those. I don't really, well, I'll make two. And now, what is it? What am I making here? Healing salve. Oh yeah, healing salve. All right. Make a bunch of these. These are awesome. Okay, so what is the difference? Watch what happens when I use a super stim pack. Here, I'm gonna key bind it here to position 3, so you can see me using one. And then I'm gonna put a healing salve on 4. Okay, so here is, I'm gonna pull out so you can see the whole thing. Here's a stim pack. Oh, full health, duh. Let me damage myself a little bit. That's one difference. I think I can take a healing salve no matter what. Weapons, explosive. I don't have a plasma gun on me, or a plasma pistol, otherwise I would use that. There we go. Explosive weapon for the win. All right, so let's actually, okay, most people play in third person, so I'm just gonna do that. That way you can see what's going on. If I use a stim pack, which is 3, notice the animation. Okay, let's do that again. When you're in the middle of combat, I need to get my health down. The stim pack is still doing its thing. And now Born Survivor is doing its thing. Right? Oh wait, no, that's something else. There we go. That was Ricochet and Serendipity kicking in. Okay, so now I'm here. Let's watch this in first person. Now let's say you're in combat and you're blah, 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 right? You don't want to really slow down. You use a stim pack and, oh, animation. That's not good. While the animation is going, you can't shoot. You can't do anything. You're basically just stopping. You're putting a stim pack in, and now you can continue fighting. Well, that's not good. The alternative is using a healing salve. It does not heal for as much, but not only can you use it with no animation, so watch this. So I'm shooting, healing salve. Oh, it actually went without even me doing anything. So let's try this again. So I'm shooting. Whoops. Shooting, I'm in danger. Oh, healing salve. See that? See my health bar? I didn't stop shooting at all. I'm doing another one. Okay, now I'm at full health, so I can't use one. But let's say that you want to basically protect yourself from a lot of stuff at once. Stim packs don't stack. Healing salves do. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I have a huge amount of healing over time applied to myself. Right? Now, it doesn't last forever. There, I just used one. Used another one. I used another one. Notice how the effect is more amplified the more I take. So that's why healing salves are phenomenal. They don't have an animation, so you don't have to stop combat. You take one right in the middle of combat. In fact, I'm pretty sure my healing salve is bound to my emergency oh shit healing button. Like if I do this and I hit my, I have that set to, I'll show you here. Controls.
I need to visit Flatwoods again sometime.
Quick heal, numpad 0. So now I just go like that, and you notice there's no animation and I'm healing. Now this 108 that it showed is not just not just those. It's a combination of all healing things that you're carrying. So that's the super stim packs, regular stim packs, diluted stim pack diffusers, and any healing salves that you have on you. That's the total count. So I'm shooting at myself. I just took 3 at once, or 4 at once. Notice it was instantaneous. There was no animation, no delay. It was just instantaneous. Heal. Like, and they're HOTS. So if you look at the actual description, it does gradually restores a small amount of health. So it's 4 health per second. See that? Over 5 seconds, this is 20 health total. 4 times 5. You need more? So yeah, I always try to have healing salves on me when I'm not raiding. When I'm doing raids, I don't need it. I rely on the mechanic of the medics on the chest of my power armor to use a stim pack, and the only thing I want in there, I don't think it'll use a healing salve. I'm pretty sure it'll only use a stim pack. Like even if you look at the description for the armor itself. Whoops. If we look at the actual armor piece, it says automatically use a stim pack when below 50% health, not healing salve. So I'm pretty sure it won't use a healing salve. And you wouldn't want it to either because you want to use the super stim pack because it's a huge amount of healing. So anyway, that's how you make those items and why you would want to use one over the other. And again, this is a fantastic place to get your strangler blooms, and it's one of the very few places. In fact, if we pull up the Fallout 76 map, let's see here, let's pull this over. Let's see, map76.com. If we type bloom, is it going to do it? Doesn't even have it. I wonder if there's some other internal name that it runs, that it uses. But if it did show, it'd probably only show them in this little tiny area here. Because again, they are a byproduct of someone dumping the chemicals into the river at the end of that quest chain. It's the quest chain that teaches you the recipe, RadShield. So if you've done that, you got the recipe. That's the only way to get the recipe, unless you're lucky enough to find it on someone's vendor. Although they might be bound when you pick them up. I'm not sure. Hopefully that helps.